Macmillan Audio presents Reply All and Other Ways to Tank Your Career by Richie Frieman. This is the author. Introduction. Allow me to paint a picture of my first year out of college, or as every cheesy commencement speaker calls it, the real world. It starts with an eager young man clutching his diploma and excitingly diving into what is promised to be an up-and-coming job opportunity. After only 1 month, his story takes a leap off the side of a cliff, like Thelma and Louise driving into oblivion. He finds himself in a web of deceit and manipulation because his boss has the morals of a third-world dictator. The boy with a promising job winds up spending his days lying to clients, paying fees for his boss's bounced paychecks, and generally wallowing in the lowest circles of hell until he has a nervous breakdown at 23. Oh, come on, grow a pair. It couldn't really be that bad, you say. Allow me to illustrate. I call this my top 5, but trust me, there are at least 5,000. Holy effing crap, you must be kidding me, moments from my first job after college. 9/11. I worked in Washington, D.C., and our office overlooked a main thoroughfare. On that awful day, the street was filled with gridlocked cars and panicked people running and screaming. It was pandemonium. As my boss and I looked out at the chaos from our office window, he handed me a stack of business cards and ordered me to go hand them out to everyone stuck in traffic, since it was a great opportunity for business. Mind you, the company was a graphic design and printing firm. When I declined, he told me to stop being such a bitch. Paydays can be tricky. In our small office of 6, including our evil dictator, there was routinely only enough money for 5 people to be paid come payday, including Stalin himself. This was an unspoken but well-known fact. So the first 5 to get to the bank before it closed on Friday were the lucky ones. The latecomer had to wait until Monday, when our boss could funnel money into that account from wherever else he was hiding it. He would often hand us our paychecks at 6 o'clock, on Fridays, after the banks closed, or in sealed envelopes so we could not see they were unsigned, which apparently the banks have a big problem with. Ticket to Ride. After bouncing employees' checks on a fairly regular basis, my boss told me one day, quite proudly, that he was buying his wife a Mercedes SUV. This was after he made me drive him around in my beat-up piece of junk for 9 hours and pay for gas. Burning the midnight oil. One day, a massive job came in and my boss couldn't resist the money. So he had a coworker and me work from 9 a.m. to 7 a.m. That's 22 hours straight. After that shift, he benevolently said that I could go home, get some rest, and come back in around noon, the same day. The Tax Man. After I quit the job, my boss failed to deliver my W-2 tax form on time because he was too busy fixing his books with his crooked accountant, which forced me to file late. And when the W-2 finally arrived, it was incorrect. Why am I telling you all this? These examples of my first foray into the real world are not meant to scare you. Okay, maybe a little. The reason why I'm sharing these horror stories is so you know that I've been in your shoes. Sure, I hope you don't have as tremulous a start as I did in your career, but I guarantee that most of us will have, or have had, to wade through troubled waters to achieve professional success, no matter how you define it. Plus, how could I understand and resolve improper business behavior if I never experienced it, at massive levels, for the majority of my career? Like so many other graduates, I thought that my career would take a traditional, linear path. I figured I'd go to college, get a degree, land a job, and stick with that field until Social Security kicked in. I mean, let's face it, this is real life, not the movies. I'm not going to sit down at Starbucks next to some random person who just so happens to be a CEO who says, "Son, I can just tell you have potential. How would you like a job?" Also, like many other young people, I thought the world was waiting for my ideas, and when I got that degree, the gates of good fortune would fly open. Cue the Rocky theme. That was not how it went. And trust me, it's not how it will.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?